Hello everyone and welcome to Xidam Astrology once again. This is my continuing series on the nakshatra, its deities and symbolism. And as we all recall, in the Vedic Hindu system of astrology, known in Sanskrit as Jyotish, the 27 constellations and not the 12 star signs, which is the zodiac, are the key to understanding celestial influences on our planet and person. These 27 constellations are known as the 27 nakshatras or stars, spanning 13 degrees 20 minutes each, and then they are further divided into 4 padas of 3 degrees 20 minutes. So this is Xidam Astrology, bringing you an alternative view, a new perspective on the stars in the sky. Okay, continuing with my new perspective on Xidam Astrology. This slide just deals with the terminology of the sky and how we divide the sky to analyze your birth chart or kundali. I have spoken on this particular slide in previous videos, but you can go through it. It's here. You can take your time and understand where the rashis are in relation to the nakshatras or stars and the padas, and how we view it in Vedic astrology and how we use it to analyze your birth chart, the depth that we go into in regard to these three elements to give you your potential and pitfalls in this janam or this life. So Xidam Astrology is here for you. If you have any further questions, drop me a line at xida55@outlook.com or visit my blog at xidamastrology.com and leave a message. Okay, in this video we are dealing with Mula Nakshatra, and we are looking at the symbol for Mula Nakshatra, and that symbol is the rutilated roots or a bunch of roots tied together. And that symbol deals with, getting to the core of the problem, the root of the problem, as it were. And the historical background of this nakshatra stems from the stories of a purge to our bodies of the ugliness that poisons our soul by degradation of others in our home and community. Judgment, we play God. And the foundation star, which is the Mula Nakshatra, urges us to get to the root of the problem and untangle the knots to find the truth, as truth is not plain to see, but it can be hidden because it's deep underground, and that is the root that we have to get, because as I said, it's not plain. We need to recall the story of Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, and Jyeshta, her elder sister. These are Rohini Nakshatra and Mula Nakshatra, posited opposite each other on the zodiac. Rohini is posited in Taurus and Mula is posited in Sagittarius. So they are opposite each other. And when we encounter Rohini or Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, we have at our backs Niruti, also known as Jyeshta or Alakshmi, or front, depending on what we are facing. Because if our back is facing Sagittarius, then our front is facing Lakshmi, which is good. But if our back is facing Lakshmi, then we are facing Sagittarius, which will bring us destruction and disruptive behavior. I believe we misunderstand the root of a problem, and if we do, we will miss the true and complete healing that we can bring to others and to ourselves. It's like trying to treat cancer with a Band-Aid, and if not careful, we can make the common mistake of tackling the thoughts but missing the heart of the problem. We become aware of our messed up thinking because we know sometimes, oh my God, my mind, is this a Chandrastama alert for me, or is the moon on my ascendant? We never stop to examine what's behind the messed up thinking. So we set out on a mission to deal with our thoughts, and if we are not careful, we can fall into two common traps. Because when it comes to our thoughts in life, we determine that we must have more self-control. We begin the quest to obey God or Bhagwan and take captive every thought as it comes to our head. We fight to replace the false with the truth. We determine, we will not give in to the destructive patterns and behaviors of our past, yet we continue to fail. So we cry out in desperation, wondering, why am I failing? Why do I keep repeating the same behaviors? And until we deal with the root of our problems, we will find ourselves exhausted, frustrated, and defeated. So that this nakshatra, this symbol for Mula Nakshatra, with a bunch of roots tied together, tells us that there's a huge difference between hacking away at the branches of a problem and striking at the root, so that when most people have a problem, they limit themselves to addressing the immediate and obvious causes of the problem, which leads to the implementation of a superficial solution. We just look at the front of it. We don't look deeper, so that the solution will never be a real solution. So taking this approach won't provide you with a long-term solution to whatever problem you may be facing. When you don't eliminate the cause of a problem, the problem will keep recurring. And this is Mula Nakshatra, so that different planets have different energies and different lessons for us to learn. And in Vedic astrology, this symbol denotes, hidden things, realms and events. The persons born in this nakshatra will have a strong foundation and have a knack for getting to the core or the root of problems. You always detail-oriented research. You need to find out why, what, where, and when. Also, the how is important for you. Okay, we've looked at the symbol of Mula Nakshatra. Let us now look at the deity that creates and gives us the energies in Mula Nakshatra. And this deity is called Niruti or Alakshmi, who is the goddess of fortune. And we also know her as Dhumavati, and the widow. And this is what Mula Nakshatra joins in its energies to give us what can happen and what will happen when we have Mula Nakshatra being activated for us, whether we are born in it or whether planets are transiting over it. And the name of Niriti has the meaning of absence, the absence of order of the Ritra, because that is the order, the law, the divine order of the universe. So that the name Niriti is the absence of disorder, meaning disorder or lawlessness, specifically the guardian to the absence of divine or cosmic order, which is disorder. And Niriti is mentioned in the hymns of the Rig Veda and other Brahmanas and Atharvaveda. And she's described as having golden locks, dressed in dark clothes, and has sacrificial shares and dark husk. So that this is the kingdom. She is mentioned as living in the kingdom of the dead. She's also described as being cow repelling and bull-toothed, a shriveled up, sunken cheeks, and kind of a really ugly manifestation of what a human being is. She is not mentioned by name in the Vedic Upanishads or early literature, but all aspects of a Lakshmi match those of the Rigvedic goddess Niriti. So that we find the similarities in there, where we understand that this is the goddess Niruti, who is the deity for the Mula Nakshatra. And first a Lakshmi emerges, then Mother Lakshmi appears during the Samudra Manthan, which is the churning of the ocean to give you that poison or that milk that Lord Shiva swallowed so that his throat became blue. So that this is the poverty and grief that comes from this nakshatra and this goddess and this deity. She is the asura as of inauspiciousness and grief, which is the opposite of Mother Lakshmi, who is the goddess of auspiciousness and joy. A Lakshmi or Niruti is sometimes referred to by another name of Jayeshta, and a Lakshmi is also known as Daridhara or Kalahapriya, and the elderly sister opposite of Lakshmi. And according to Chakrabarti, it is said that when she enters a household, she brings jealousy and malice in her trail. So people or brothers and sisters fall out with each other's families, and their male lineages face ruin and destruction. So a Lakshmi is said to coexist with Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, so that where there is a Lakshmi, there is an Alakshmi or Niruti. Some legends believe she is invisible in existence, while some believe she is always near Mother Lakshmi in the form of an owl. So a Lakshmi or Niruti brings discord, strife, jealousy, malice and hardship wherever she goes. Proximity to her gives rise to lack of knowledge, vision, and positive thinking. She divides families and destroys wealth. She plants distrust and misunderstanding among family members, friends, and relatives. So this is the deity or the goddess of misfortune, Niruti or Alakshmi or Jyeshta, as we know it for the Mula Nakshatra. So while you are digging deep, it tells you that when you get into the root of the problems, you may find things that may destroy you and those around you. So your actions in digging deep needs to be done with a good mind, that your intentions are always good, so that you know what to retrieve and what to discard when you are looking at Mula Nakshatra with the goddess of misfortune. Okay, we have the fixed stars of the Mula Nakshatra that now we are going to look at, and the Mula Nakshatra spans 0 to 1320 degrees in Sagittarius, so that between this degree we have 105, 1 degree 5 minutes in Sagittarius. We have the fixed star of Cornforus, which is giving us a strength of character but dangerous passions. And the Graha here, which is neutral, is Mercury. Then at 218 Sagittarius, we have another fixed star yet prior, which is giving us success in astrology, and the 9th house matters are good, shrewd. Fortunate here is Saturn and Venus. Then at 536 we have Malefic, who gives us good-hearted deeds, easily seduced, and we can be a healer with herbs. Neutral here is Saturn and Venus. And it means that other planets can be malefic or benefic. And then at 946 in Sagittarius, we have Antares, who is the heart of the Scorpion, and this is a royal star, the Archangel Oriel, the Watcher of the West, and there is a spirit of adventure and obstinacy here. But you can have sudden loss or injuries to eye, or you can become violent and get honors though. But there is also several marriages for persons who are likely to be born in this fixed star. And the fortunate grahas here are Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury. And then at 1158 Sagittarius, there is Rastaban. And here we get accidents, wounds, criminality. But it's good for astrology, government, and there can be honorable persons, impulsive though. And unfortunate planets here are Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. So this just gives you a kind of insight into, within a particular nakshatra, based on the degree that the fixed star is and that your graha may be posited, you can be different from a next person who has the same birthday and birth time because of the degree or the pada that you occupy or that your planets occupy in your birth chart. And this is the depth that Vedic astrology is. This is the complexity that gives Vedic astrology an edge, in my humble opinion. For those of you who have looked at my videos before and have seen my analysis of the nakshatras will understand the padas that bring you dharma, artha, kama and moksha. And all padas are 4 padas in each nakshatra, and the first pada in Mula Nakshatra gives us the Aries Navamsh, and this is ruled by Mars, and this quarter is associated with all kind of material and spiritual pursuits, you know, depending on the state of the native, on how you live your life, the karma that you create or the karma that you have to deal with. What is your duty? Have you taken your responsibility properly? And these are the, you know, the aesthetics, these are the energies, these are the symbolisms of each of the pada, the 4 padas in Mula Nakshatra. And at the 4th pada, you have the Cancer Navamsh ruled by the moon. So the focus here is on the non-stop struggle to relate with people, you know, around you on the emotional plane, because moon is all about your emotions. It's all about your motherly feelings, your nurturing, your caring. So the padas are there with the element of the Purushartha, which is the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but it also comes with the nakshatra Graha, which will be starting off here in Mula with Mars and ending with Cancer. And they all have their rulers, you know, the passionate, the mind, the bull who is stubborn, or the Gemini person who is dual in nature, who can flit and fly, you know, either way with the wind. So these are the things that help us understand you much better in Vedic astrology when we look at your birth chart with your specific information to give you a heads up on what could be coming or what is happening to you and why. Okay, I always say a new perspective, and if you look at my tarot series on Xidam Astrology or the videos that I do for YouTube, you would understand why I am bringing the zodiac characteristics of Sagittarius for you with a nakshatra, deity and symbolism, because at Xidam Astrology I have created the union or use the code of astrology with the tarot spread to bring you a new perspective, a new direction, a new reading and analysis of your birth chart. And these are some of the energies that I look at with the characteristics of Sagittarius, where Mula Nakshatra is posited. And you know, it brings the tarot card Temperance, the chakra Svadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra, and it tells you all about, you know, Lord Vishnu and the nakshatras that are in Sagittarius, which are the other nakshatra energies that we have to look at when we are looking at Mula. And you know, the results of this nakshatra can be seen in the material world, and the energy of this nakshatra comes from the Varna or the Kshatriyas, you know, so that we have to have that warrior behavior. But Jupiter is all about wisdom, education, your children, prosperity, abundance, expansion, so that all of these are given an air or a view when I, particularly at Xidam Astrology, look at your birth chart to do an analysis for you, to give you an understanding of the dimensions and the complexity of yourself and what you can and cannot do. I am just giving you a little heads up on Ketu, because Ketu here is the Graha that rules the Mula Nakshatra. So that Ketu's characteristic in Sagittarius will obviously differ from Ketu's characteristic elsewhere if he's posited in another zodiac sign. And Ketu characteristic in Sagittarius tells us that Ketu doesn't have a mind of its own. It is the dragon's tail. So, it gives us constant movement and itchy feet because we're not seeing where we're going, but we want to move forward. We want that movement. And in this position, Ketu affords the person or the native with good intuition. Such people become great spiritual leaders and earn a lot of name and fame in life. But this depends on the placement of the other planets, obviously. These persons give a lot of respect to elders and their community. They achieve success in life. They are quite intelligent. While Sagittarius is known to be a jubilant and carefree sign, Ketu here gives a serious temperament to the person or to the native. They have a strong need for freedom and independence. They don't like to be bogged down and restrained. They do not like to be told what to do and like to have their life in their own control. So that Ketu is where, in terms of life circumstances, we will find that everything will dissolve. This experience can terrify us, but Ketu dissolves, that which needs to die in terms of our need to be reborn and go forward to meet our spiritual destiny in this janam or this incarnation. Ketu is our past lives, the opposite of Rahu, which is the head of the dragon. And Ketu is the area where we are driving forward. Rahu is the advancing army. Ketu is the occupying army. The word Ketu represents the occupying army's flag flying over the area of life we previously conquered. So I'm sure you would have heard me in previous videos always saying been there, done that when Ketu is in our reading, because that is what it is. We have gone through that. We have been through the fire. We have conquered that, so we don't need to look at that in this lifetime or deal with it in this lifetime. And this is just, a brief on some of the characteristics of Ketu in Sagittarius. With the union of tarot and Vedic astrology at Xidam Astrology, Mula, the foundation star, gives us all these little characteristics that we look at, and I've put them together on a card here taken from another one of the gurus that I look at on the internet and learn from, and I've tweaked it to my own needs in terms of the marriage or the union between Vedic astrology and tarot. And this is all that I look at. This is all the characteristics that I bring together to understand you as my client or subscriber when you request assistance from Xidam Astrology. And we talk about the Tridosha, the Vata, the air, whether it's fire, air, earth, water, Akash, which is the space or sky. I talked about the tied bunch of roots, which is the symbol. The Trimurti here is Lord Brahma to create. I've spoken about Ketu and the deity. And then we have, the nakshatra, which is a Tikshana nakshatra, which is, sharp, and it's downward looking, Adho Mukha. So these are all the things that we look at, and the aspirations of these and the outcome of these when it is placed or aligned with your planets or grahas in Vedic astrology. So that it is, as I always say, a Herculean task. It is not a quick, analysis. It takes depth, it takes thinking, it takes intuition, and it takes competence to really give you that true picture. And it is, so dimensional that I can deal with one dimension and leave 40 dimension unspoken, because this is what Vedic astrology is. It is multi-dimensional, and depending on your needs and what you require from your life and what you need to know at a particular point in time, Xidam Astrology will look at a particular dimension for you based on your chart and your birth details. So this is the foundation star, Mula Nakshatra, and the characteristics with the tarot that I have aligned and created the union through the code of astrology. At Xidam Astrology, we also look at the Vishnu Avatar of the ruler of the nakshatra. And the ruler of the nakshatra Mula in Sagittarius is Ketu. And we've gone through Ketu and his characteristics in Sagittarius. Now we have to look at the Vishnu Avatar Matsya. And that Matsya is the fish avatar, fish formation, you know, half man, half fish, and it's all about him saving the world on the great floods. You know, it's symbolic with for those who know about the Noah's Ark story, it's symbolic with that story, you know, and it is said that during the Satya Yuga, the people on earth had become, you know, so disrespectful and disorderly in the way that they lived their lives, that the gods decided to flood the earth and prepare it for the process of renovation. So Matsya saves the world from extinction in the floods that besieged the land by saving someone called Manu, who was the last moral being. And you know, he told him to build something that will save all the medicinal herbs and all the varieties of seeds, and to let the 7 saints accompany him on this boat or ark that he's building. So it is reminiscent of the Christian story of Noah and the ark. And you know, Matsya may be depicted alone or in a scene showing his combat with a demon called Sankhasura, emerging from a conch, and is sometimes depicted attacking Matsya with a sword as Matsya combats or kills him. You know, both of them may be shown in the ocean, while the god Brahma and or manuscripts of 4 men symbolizing the Vedas, which the demon had stolen. You know, it's shown in the background. And in some scenes, Matsya is also shown as a fish pulling the boat with Manu and the 7 sages in it. So, you know, this is the Vishnu devotees. They observe a fast for Matsya Jayanti, which is the birthday of Matsya. And he's all about coming to us in our time of need and saving us from the floods once we are moral and ethical and our intentions are always good. He is there to give us a hand to help us above the flood waters that may drown us. So this is Matsya, the Vishnu avatar, which is aligned to Ketu and the Mula Nakshatra. With Bhagwan's blessings, I have also and always given to him at the end of these videos and these messages. I hope that all is well with you and that your visit with Xidam Astrology and this video brings you joy and happiness and some further knowledge that you were not aware of before. Thank you for listening, and I hope something new and exciting enters your thoughts and enables your dreams. Be safe, happy and healthy until we meet again. See you next time. Take care. Bye.